The Old West is a place of lawlessness, with gunfights and notorious outlaws ruling the land. But in the midst of the chaos, there are attorneys like Turkey Creek Jack Johnson, who swaggered, fought hard, and brought justice to the Wild West. His name may not be as famous as Wyatt Earp or Doc Holliday, but his courage and contributions to the Earp Vendetta Ride are important. In this video, we take a closer look at the life of Turkey Creek Jack Johnson, his exploits as a lawman in the Old West, and his role in the legendary Earp Vendetta Ride.
Remember to hit the like button because it helps us a lot. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell to not miss the upcoming interesting videos.
John Turkey Creek Jack Johnson was born in 1852. Johnson is known as an accountant and attorney from Missouri. Despite Wyatt Earp's belief that Johnson's real name was John Blunt, there is no concrete evidence to support this. Johnson is not actually a gunner in the traditional sense, but has been incorrectly portrayed as such in Stuart N. Lake's mostly fictional book. In fact, Johnson was an informer about the cowboys, according to Earp. In 1881, at the age of 34, Johnson fled Missouri with his brothers after they became involved in a violent skirmish in the streets of the mining town of Webb City, Missouri. Johnson's brother, Bud Blunt, a famous drunkard, accidentally killed a man in Tip Top, Arizona, and was sent to Yuma prison. Johnson is known to have been involved in two gunfights. The first was on November 6, 1872, in Newton, Kansas town. Marshal Johnson killed M.J. Fitzpatrick, who, in a drunken argument, killed Judge George Halliday. This same man, named John Johnson, may have been in Tombstone according to the 1880 census. He may have rode with Wyatt Earp, suggesting Turkey Creek Jack Johnson and John Johnson, the field marshal, may have been one. Johnson is also said to have spent time in Deadwood in the Dakota Territory in 1876. That same year, he's alleged to have engaged in a gunfight where he shows off his excellent shooting skills. After allegedly cheating on a poker game, two large men tried to knock him down with multiple pistol shots, but Johnson remained calm and quickly dodged. He simply turned to the side to transform himself into a smaller target, raised his opposite arm to serve as a gun holder, and took out each man with two single shots. While the authenticity of this event is up for debate, it became part of Wild West lore, and the story is still told to this day. One of the places Johnson is said to have visited is Dodge City, Kansas, although the exact time of his arrival remains uncertain. It is speculated that he may have met with Wyatt Earp during his days when he was hunting buffalo, either in Deadwood or Dodge City. In late 1878, Johnson went to the Arizona Territory, working on a farm with Sherman McMaster, Curly Bill Brocious, and Pony Dial. Brocious and Dial are famous for their participation in the Lincoln County War, where they fought against Billy the Kid and his associates. Although there is no evidence that Johnson was involved in the conflict, it is interesting to consider the possibility that he may have known these two notorious outlaws before herding the cattle. John H. Flood's unpublished 1926 biography of Wyatt Earp is a treasure trove of information on Old Western legends, including his relationship with Johnson. According to Flood, Johnson and Earp were old friends when they arrived at Tombstone. This is supported by historical evidence, as Johnson was on board guarding Virgil when he last left Tombstone on the 20th of March, 1882. As a part of the Earp team protecting Virgil, Johnson was charged in absentia with Doc Holliday, Wyatt Earp, Warren Earp, and Sherman McMaster in the murder of Frank Stillwell in Tucson. Johnson and the others returned to Tombstone on a freight train that night, and the next day they joined Jack Vermillion in Texas, embarking on the Earp Vendetta Ride of 1882. At dawn on March 22nd, the Earp group consisting of Wyatt, Warren, Doc Holliday, Sherman McMaster, and Turkey Creek Johnson headed east toward Pete Spence's ranch and logging camp. Their destination was below the South Pass of the Dragoon Mountains, near the Chihuahua Road. It is there that Theodore Judah, a witness to the events at the log camp, will provide them with important information. At around 11 a.m., the Earp group questioned Judah, who told them about the whereabouts of Spence and Florentino Indian Charlie Cruz. Spence is in prison at Tombstone and Cruz is cutting wood nearby. Following Judah's instructions, they quickly headed towards Cruz. Soon after, people heard several shots being fired. That night, Judah searched for Cruz, but it was not until the next morning that he found Cruz's body covered with bullet holes. Cruz was shot by Team Earp. During the fateful gunfight, he confessed to taking part in the murder of Morgan. He identified Stillwell, Hank Swilling, Curly Bill, and Johnny Ringo as other perpetrators. During the confrontation, Wyatt allowed Cruz to draw his revolver to give him a chance to fight like a man. Wyatt drew his own gun first and killed him with a single shot. The account of Wyatt killing Cruz in a duel contradicts Cruz's fatal injuries. The aftermath of the gunfight at the logging camp was a watershed moment for the Earp brothers. On March 24th, Dr. George Goodfellow, coroner, conducted an autopsy of the body of Florentino Indian Charlie Cruz. Goodfellow discovered 4 bullet holes in Cruz, one of which lodged in his right temple and through his brain. The jury concluded that Wyatt Earp, Warren Earp, Sherman McMaster, Jack Johnson, and Doc Holliday, Texas Jack, and 2 other gunmen, Dan Tipton and Charlie Smith, were responsible for Cruz's death. The jury's verdict sparked outrage among Earp's supporters, who saw it as an attempt by the administration to smear their heroes. Meanwhile, the governor of the territory of Arizona, Tridle, went to Tombstone to assess the situation. On the same day, James Earp's wife, Betsy, and Wyatt's usual wife, Maddie, moved to Colton, California, where the rest of the Earp family had moved. Following the Earp Vendetta Ride, Johnson quickly escaped to Colorado before moving to Texas and then to Salt Lake City, Utah. He died in Salt Lake City in 1887 of tuberculosis. The Flood manuscript says Johnson was a member of the Mount Moriah Lodge Masons in Salt Lake City and estimates his age at death. However, this last piece of information is highly questionable. Turkey Creek Jack Johnson played a major role in the Earp Vendetta Ride. Though a little-known hero, Johnson's courage and loyalty to his friends cemented his place firmly in the annals of the West. With unwavering determination and commitment to upholding the law is a testament to Johnson's strength. As we recall these legendary stories, let us not forget the legacy of Turkey Creek Jack Johnson, one of the unsung heroes of the Old West. Please like and share if you find the video content interesting and useful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and comment below so as not to miss the upcoming interesting videos. Thanks for watching.